Hello everyone, and today is going to be a very special program because we're going to have a very special friend, and it's an Israeli, not just a soldier, it's a first sergeant. Those of you civilians, first sergeant is a very respectable rank in the military. This is the individual that other soldiers follow. They, you know, in Western world, in the Israeli army, in the American army, in the British army, you know, soldiers, they don't follow officers, they don't follow anyone, they follow the first sergeant. That is the most experienced soldier who they trust a lot. So we have Itay here, who's an Israeli soldier, who just was the first one to go into Gaza and fight. And we just want to talk to him and share this information that he has. So Itay, welcome to the United States.
Thank you very much.
So you were born in Israel, right?
Yes, I was born in the Upper Galilee, next to Lebanon border, Kibbutz Gadot.
No, it's a nice area.
It's the best. It's amazing.
What were your parents doing? Why were they in the kibbutz?
My dad is a farmer. Like we grow chickens.
Chickens?
Yes.
Kosher?
Kosher.
Okay.
And my mom, she's a guide for evangelist Christians that come from abroad.
We love evangelists. We love them. They're the best friends of Israel. One time we had a fight whether, you know, Jesus was a Messiah or not, and I said, why fight with it? When he comes next time, we'll ask him if it's his first visit or he has been here before. That's all. But for now, the evangelists are the best friends of Israel. We love evangelists. They're great people.
I know
great people.
A lot about it because of my mom, and I go with her to churches sometimes to see, and it's amazing.
So your mom is evangelist, and you?
No, my mom is evangelist guide.
A guide, okay.
She's Jew.
She's a Jew. So you're Jewish on both sides.
Yes.
Which mom is more important, I guess. And so your father is a farmer in the kibbutz.
Yes.
Okay. Were your parents from somewhere else, or grandparents, or?
So my grandparents from my dad's side are from Baghdad, Iraq.
Oh.
Yes. They came 4 years after Israel was rebuilt. And my mom's side is from Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, you look a little. Yeah. So you fit right in Miami.
And they came in the 60s.
Right. You know, I never understood that because usually it's a reciprocity. Like Jews leave Iraq or Morocco or Egypt and they come to Israel, but no Arabs ever go there. So it should be like an exchange, like a reciprocity, but it never worked that way. So somehow the Arabs remained there, but the Jews left the Arab countries. But anyway, life is unfair. So you grow up in the kibbutz, and then you decided to join the army?
Well, it's a thing that in the kibbutz and a lot of areas, different areas in Israel, you grow up on the values of you're going to go to the army, you're going to do as best as you can, you're going to fight for a country, because you know who is your neighbors. It's not Germany, it's not the United States, it's something else.
They're difficult neighbors, yeah.
Yeah, it's not so hard. You can, and yeah, with this manners, with these values, I went to the army.
So you were what, 18?
I was 19.
19.
I had a gap year. After I graduated school. I had like a leadership program that a lot of Israeli does, and just makes you more mature when you go to the army.
That's and you definitely showed leadership because you were first sergeant, and but it's kind of like in the United States. Our young people also, like when they're 18 or 19, they all go in the army because they have to defend our country and our values. Except, unfortunately, in our country, they all go to college. Not all, but many go to college and study nothing and party and come out and have no job. So you went into the army, but you didn't go into just the armies. You went into like special forces.
I went into a special unit called Maglan. It's in the Commando Brigade. It's really similar to recon forces. We have like special weapons that I can't talk about.
Right.
But it was a year and a half of really hard training. We started 48 and we finished 26.
Right, so half of the class,
half of the class just washed out. And to get to that point that will be 48 was again from about 300 people. They chose it, and then during this a year and a half.
Okay, so your unit is, I would say, the closest we can compare it to. It would be like a British Commandos or United States Long Range Marine Corps, long range recon.
Yeah.
In the Marine Corps, you guys go really deep in, and
we know how to go really, really slowly and really quiet, and we know how to go guns blazing if we need to.
As we say, swift, silent, deadly.
Yes.
It's a good outfit. Good outfit. And you had to do your 3-year service there, right?
Yes, my best 3 years. I have to tell you that. Really, like I met my new family. We grew up for 3 years together, and I never met such quality people like I did in my unit in the army.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, sure. It's when you sweat together and bleed together that makes you a family.
And cuddle together when it's really cold outside.
Yeah,
you don't have any dry clothes.
You gotta hug each other. And then you were done with the army and you went back to the kibbutz?
Yes, I went back to the kibbutz. I did study in the same time in Tel Aviv. I studied computer science. But in that time I was in the kibbutz, like in 7th of October, 2 years after. And I was hiking with my little foster brother. I have an amazing family, a very loving family.
How many brothers?
I'm the youngest out of 4. And I have a younger foster brother, which is 10 years younger than me. He's 16.
What do you mean foster brother? I thought that like we tend to believe that in Israel there are no, a family usually takes, if somebody loses their parents, other family members take them in. There are really no orphanages, there are no foster parents. How did you end up with the foster
There
brother?
are a lot of foster kids in Israel. The story is a bit tragic, but with a happy ending.
Right.
So my parents had a good friend that had 2 really small kids, like a year and a half and half a year or something like that. And they died on a car accident. And they said, we're gonna adopt those kids. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna take them. And then they learned out that it's not so easy with the law.
Right.
And they went into this adopting adopting process. But it takes time, and less than a week later, the aunt of those babies took them and everything was finished. But my parents were already doing this process, and they forgot about that. But they already got accepted, and they were pretty much in a waiting list. And almost a year later, they called them, a social worker called them and said, we have a match for you. On this amazing kid, which was 6. We want to see if you want him. And so we went to have ice cream. He went to have ice cream, and we met occasionally, like almost randomly, but of course not, in the ice cream store. We started talking with them, and we, like a week later, we were already in our house.
Beautiful. Lucky kid to have somebody you as a role model to take after. So you're hiking with your young brother up in the mountains. You like to hike?
Yes, in the north.
In the north, you're those of you can't see, but Itay is a very, very well built. He's a very fit young man. I wish I would have been that way, but in my next lifetime. He's definitely an athlete. Now, you were an athlete, or were you, or it was just you?
I was in really good shape in the army. That's true. but my back was really hurting. Like I really had a bad backaches because of all of the weight.
You carry,
all of the things we carried throughout the years, and I started to do CrossFit, and that's pretty much saved my back and everything. And I was in a better physical shape 2 years after the army than I was in the army, because I trained like better from my own physical, I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, you did it. It was specifically
yes, and I didn't carry 60-kilogram bags.
Right, for a long time.
For a long time.
We have the same problem in our military. People have problems because with the hips, with the knees, with the back.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that easy to get into your outfit. I mean, it's a 50% washout, so you had to prepare for it. We have
everything prepared.
You had prepared, right? Because you wanted to be in that outfit. It's all volunteer, right?
My unit's called a volunteers unit.
You volunteers, you're right. With
the elite forces are volunteers. Everyone says volunteering. You don't have to be there. Every day during our military service, they said to us, if you don't wanna, you don't need to be here.
Go, goodbye.
Just go. It's okay. We're gonna sign whatever you need.
You relax. You drink
and a lot of people, that's what happened because they can't take it anymore.
Because it's a lot of it. It's
here.
It's right there. You can drink all the water you want. You can sleep now. Just go. You go and you get all this. Otherwise, you're gonna
get your phone back.
You're gonna be suffering. We're gonna do all these bad things to you. Right. So you have a lot of stamina. You're physically fit. You're mentally fit. You're an athlete. You like to hike. But
7 October.
No, wait. I know you want to get to 7 October. I want to get to 7 October too. But you also play chess. I understand.
That's my favorite game. I play it every day.
You play.
If I don't have an opponent, I'll play on the computer or my phone. It's just the best game.
You actually know how all these things move?
I know how all these things move.
So he's not only fit, he's not only patriotic, not only physically and mentally able to fight, but also smart.
That's my favorite game.
It's not too many people I know who would say that chess is their favorite game, especially guys who are athletes. All right, so let's do it. 7th of October, you're hiking with your little brother.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. Wow, he also wakes up early.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate myself. What did I say?
You're hiking and
we're alone, which is weird because no one is alone. It's Saturday in the summer in Israel. It's not summer, but it's a good time. Just walking, great view. And 8 a.m. my commander called me, and
because you're in the reserves at this point.
I'm reservist.
Right.
We did operations. I went to the army prior to that, and it was great. Most of the time they cancel you, right? A minute before, after a week that you prepare for something.
Sure.
But when they don't, it's amazing. And when they do, it's fine.
Typical military.
Yeah, so I thought it's gonna be the same, but my commander just called me and said, Itay, come here right now. We need you like 2 hours ago. And didn't have any time for my question. I asked him what's happening, like what's wrong, and he didn't have any time. He just said, Itay, I'm gonna call the other guys now. Be here as soon as you can. Open the news. So he hanged up. I opened the news. I saw 150 people got injured, and I was shocked from this message. Like I didn't expect this kind of things to see in the news. So we were about 5 kilometers away from the car, started running. My brother didn't know what to do. Like I just told him, like, yalla, and hold his hand, started running as fast as we can. I put him at home, say goodbye to my mom, and me and another friend of mine, the kibbutz, was serving in the same unit, and I went on his car and we went together. And on the way there, we saw all of the horrible videos.
At this time, you're driving and you're watching.
Yeah, it's about almost 10 a.m. now. We saw all of the terrible videos. It is happening live, and we were like, "Oh my God, we have to be there," because we know that my unit, my team, we need to be there first.
Right.
Like, yeah, we reservists. Of course, we need to get to the base and soldier up and shoot a rifle. But I know the active duties are already they're already there. Right. Now it's our turn to be there and helping them. And then when the war started to be inside of Gaza with them. So we went there, we went to the base. We hoped that all of the videos that we saw are not true. AI.
Right, I did too. I thought it was
it was too much.
Yeah.
And then we got to the field, we saw that it was very much not fake. And you know, you fight not with, we said it to ourselves, and we closed closed our phones. We didn't want to see anything. We just wanted to fight and fight as best as we can, with the friendship and the love to each other, and not with the hate to the enemy. It's okay to kill them.
Yeah.
And we killed them because they deserved it and because they came to Israel to bring destruction and die. And we gave them that. Mm-hmm. But they fight out of hate. We fight out of love for life and to each other.
Yes, we're also taught you should not hate your enemy, you should respect your enemy.
Exactly.
Because hate makes you, causes you make wrong decisions.
That's true.
In a battlefield, and then you can cause more damage to yourself.
Exactly.
You should be professional and within regulations.
And that's how we fought. And after 4 days, we finally got a special mission, like we know how. And it was about controlling a perimeter on the border of Gaza, with Gaza. And we didn't know why. Just told us, you need to be there like as soon as you can, like 2 hours, stuff like that. Be there, be deployed, get to this area and wait for further directions. We learned out later it was about retrieving some of the hostages. We were supposed to secure other special force that will deploy there during the night, and we'll get some of the hostages. And on the way there, again, like I said, we're a team of 24. On the way there, after we passed Kibbutz Zikin, we started to get fire by mortar shells. Mm-hmm. It's a statistic weapon. The one who doesn't know, like just big grenades,
right?
Pretty much, that shoot at you from far.
It's some mortars, right?
Yeah, mortars. And you see them falling. Thankfully, we're next to deep sand, so all of them fell on us, but inside of the deep sand, and they exploded in the deep sand. And
so there were no shrapnel.
There were, but not as bad.
As bad, right?
And we started to drive as fast as we can. And of course, in that moment that you drive as fast as you can, and you really need to get to the point, one of the cars malfunctured, just stopped.
Right.
And maybe because of the shrapnel, I don't know, it just happened.
It happens.
It happens.
Yeah, right.
When you need it, it happens.
It's a Murphy's Law. It happens.
Yeah,
When the worst possible situation, scenario, it malfunctioned. It doesn't fire.
It's not the first time it happened to me during an operation.
It happens in my dreams all the time.
And the cars cars never malfunction, only when you need them.
They need it, right?
So malfunctioned. We were 6 vehicles.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. If it would have happened to the Arabs or to the enemy, they would have said Jews did it on purpose. They set up our car.
Yeah.
A remote control lead, they stopped it. Right. We tend to think, no, it happens. They think that, no, the Jews did it.
Yeah, so the Jews did it. Yeah. So we decided to split. 12 guys continued. I was with those 12 guys. Continued to the next bomb shelter, which was about 1 kilometer.
So you split the team up.
Yes.
Your commander goes with one.
My commander stays with the force that is stuck.
Right, and you take another part, and you take a leader.
Yeah.
Lead. And it
we're 12 guys.
And you lead the 12 guys. You're the senior guy with the 12 guys.
I have to say something about my unit. He said that I'm first sergeant major,
Right.
first sergeant. All of us are leaders. We all went through the same.
Right, but you're
Yes,
in charge of this 12th man that you're taking. That you split up the team and you're now the leader of that 12th.
I didn't take the command at first. It happened when the fire broke up. Like I was a leader in our active duty.
Mm-hmm.
Now in that time I wasn't.
Okay.
But that's fine by me. Everyone is a leader.
No, I understand that, but still, in the military units, the commander says, "Okay, you take charge and you take this man this way."
I was a sharpshooter next to the commander.
Okay.
That was my job.
Right. Okay.
I was the first one to go. So we drive to the bomb shelter, getting shelled during that time. Nothing's happening, thank God. After like 2 minutes of drive, we get there. We see huge bushes everywhere, like surrounding the bomb shelter, which is very small. It's like only 3 meters on 3 meters. It's nothing.
Right.
You look at it, you look at the bushes, you say, okay, something is weird. 6 guys stay outside, 6 guys go inside, be safe. We'll wait to the other half of the team to get to us, and we'll wait to my commander for the directions. So, okay, we said you stay outside. I was outside as well. I was on the entrance and covering the road we came from, because everything was full of bushes, which wasn't uncommon, but it was very much, we didn't like it.
Right.
And after about 3 minutes, my teammates are already deployed, everyone is in their positions. We heard fire from all directions, like
From the bushes.
That were scattered around the bomb shelter, and 8 Nukhba terrorists that came from the sea, Israeli elite forces, just opened fire at us from all directions.
Where's your position?
My position is in the front of the bomb shelter.
The bunker. Okay.
I'm out in the open as well.
Right.
And I just see bullets flying next to me. I hear them.
Why didn't you go inside of the bunker? Why didn't
The
you
minute
take the minute
I was in the entrance.
Why didn't you take a position?
I want to
inside
tell
of
you the psychology behind it. It was 4 days after our commander, everyone told us there's no more terrorists inside of Israel. They said it. No more terrorists.
The intelligence reported
no terrorists in Israel. We finished with them. So the whole thing that we went outside was our own cautious.
Right. Well, my question is why you personally did not, since you were a valuable sniper type, a senior guy, why didn't you go into the shelter? Why did you stay outside?
I had a really good view on the road.
Okay.
A really good view from there. I could see like 300 meters, which is exactly what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
So why I didn't went to stand next to them really outside, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's no really good. Maybe I was on the way there, maybe I didn't. All I know that I had a good view. I was next to a big wall, and if something will happen, I can take it. Yes. So they're open fire at us from all directions. I'm standing on the entrance of the bomb shelter. I see bullets flying everywhere, and I see all of my teammates just falling in the first burst of fire. And you know that you're in deep shit. Like, real bad. We've never been in this situation before. Never. It's funny because we always put them in this situation, but it's the first time that you're actually in an ambush. They know exactly what they're doing. They opened fire, everyone fell outside, and now I'm the only one who can still somehow respond and just put myself in I looked at myself and I said to me, okay, Itay, this moment in your life, every second that you lived before took you here to fight as best as you can, to be as positive as you can, and to just listen to your instincts. Mm-hmm. That's what you need to do. So
there's no time to think.
There's no time to think. So I just smooshed myself on the wall, so I'll get a little bit of cover. I saw my teammate crawling next to me, and I did a space for him with my legs so he could crawl between my legs. And I see a terrorist emerging in front of me, less than 5 meters away. And he started shooting me with his AK, and you see his eyes just looking at you, doesn't feel anything, just hate. And I see him, and I know that I need to get him first. So I just point to him with my weapon, take one shot, and I just blast his face off. And I feel great. And then I tell myself, okay, I take a deep breath. I looked at myself because I saw his nozzle firing at me, and I was fine. So in the back of my head, okay, Ty, you need to buy more time. The other half of your team is arriving. Just buy time until they get here. And I know my teammates will get out of the bomb shelter and we'll fight together. But still, like I said, have no time. So I see another terrorist. I drip fire at him. I advance and drip fire and advance, and he doesn't know where I am because when you get shot at,
you're moving forward at them. You're not.
I'm like, if he's here and I'm here, I'm moving like this.
You're moving, okay.
And then I'm sprinting at him,
Right.
And I just see that this is the distance.
Right.
He's still looking there because I was shooting at him last time from there.
Right.
And I'm looking at him for almost 2 seconds while I'm pointing a gun on top of him. And I just pushed my weapon into his torso and take 6 bullets and finish him off. And I look and I see two dead bodies of 2 terrorists. I say, okay, we have a chance. We're gonna make it. We're gonna take them out. We're gonna make it. Yeah, and you know, in the same time, you see other bodies that you can't connect with, like your best buddies, just lying on the ground. And in that moment, I couldn't even see that. It was too much for me to handle. Like only later, it's the kind of thing that goes up.
Right, your adrenaline.
Yeah, but in that moment, I didn't even notice. I did, but I didn't even notice. And I was very calm. So I look for more terrorists. I'm going into my scope. I'm searching for more fodder, and I see 2 grenades being thrown at me.
That's not good.
And I just jump to the other direction, hoping for good. Hear 2 explosions, and I look at myself. I'm standing back up. I'm okay, but I hear like it was very close to me. But I'm fine. But I don't hear anything. I go back to my position. I'm searching for more terrorists. I'm about to advance. Another grenade falls next to me. This time I don't hear it. This time I don't see it. And it just explodes. I feel a big shock. And then only numbness. And from being 100% controlling my body, being in the zone, being ready for everything, I just collapse. Just collapse. Can't move, can't do anything. And I'm on the ground.
Conscious.
Very much.
Okay.
Like I'm here with you now talking. So I'm on the ground. All I'm thinking is that, okay, they threw grenades at me. After you throw grenades, you advance. I need to stand on my feet and be ready from them coming to me. And I can't move. And I said, okay, time, you don't have a lot of time. It's gonna be okay. Just take a deep breath. It's all gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, your teammate's gonna be fine. They got your back, and just take a deep breath. Shake yourself out of this and go back to position. You need to kill more terrorists, you need to protect your teammates. And try to take a breath, and I can't. And then I sense something is really wrong. I don't know what, I don't feel any pain. Like I said, it's only numbness, like you touch a wire and it's not working. And I try again, and just feel my body shutting down, and it's not working, and I understand it's pretty much the end. And I don't want it to be the end. I don't want it to finish like that. I don't want it to go away, and I just choking to death pretty much, but very calmness. I was very calm. I almost accepted that. And then I find myself floating after a minute that I can't breathe. Everything is orange. I see I'm about 2 meters high in the air. I still feeling my own body, but like I later learned out that I wasn't, but I just look at the situation. I see my teammates fighting and I don't care. And I feel like so much amazing feelings in my body. I feel loved, I feel protected, I feel warmth that I can't express you just saying that it's just a warm feeling of whole. I was feeling so whole. I just want to go through this big gate over there, and I'm walking there, and just what's the hardest thing for me is that I didn't care about the situation. I didn't care about my teammate in that point. I only cared about that great feeling that I have, and I see a dead body that I don't know who it is, just next to me. For some reason I want to know, so I look at it, and I look harder, and I look closer until I'm like right on it, and I don't know why I don't recognize this body. And then I see my face, I see my reflection, and that moment, when I understand it's me, it's actually me, and I'm not going to continue with my life. That's how it felt. But when I saw my dead body, I understood that.
So you see yourself from above, you're like floating over yourself.
Yeah. And I have these pictures emerging in like flashes of how amazing life is going to be for me. I saw my family, I saw my teammates, I saw my house that I will build in my kibbutz, and I felt this amazing feeling. I felt hope, I felt optimism, and I felt love. I felt that I'm gonna have so much love in my life. And now when I didn't look at it and I want to see the situation again, I didn't see the situation. I saw a funeral, and I saw my funeral, and I saw death, and I felt like oblivious, and I saw my parents crying on my grave, and I felt terrible, horrible. And so I started looking at myself again. I started to scream at myself, Itay, start breathing. You have to start breathing again and again and again. Like 20 seconds I'm just doing that, and it all disappears. I'm opening my eyes. I see my teammates on top of me, one of them just shooting back from the position I was and holding back the terrorists. I'm taking a deep breath. I'm the happiest guy in the world. We're still in the same shitty situation, like they're shooting us from all directions, but I know we're gonna get them. I really know that, and I feel protected. I feel as protected as I could ever feel in my life, because I know what I experienced, and I know that right now my teammates are on it. Yeah, I bought them a little time. That's what they need. But now they're here, and now they're gonna kick their asses, and we're gonna win this fight like we're gonna win each and every time. So I take another breath. My left arm stops to be a little bit numb. I just push myself into sitting position. Went back into the scope. I want to go back to the fight. I still don't know what's wrong with my body. My teammate, another one, spotted me, and he sees that I'm alive. Until that moment, they thought I was one of another dead guy. And he just shouts in my ear, Itay, you're bleeding heavily. You have like a fountain of blood from your neck. And then I feel the biggest pain in my life. He just pushed his hand into my neck and tried to stop the bleeding. And like that, we fight for another 35 minutes until a chopper came and took me to the hospital. That was crazy. And I remember the faces of my teammates. I saw them almost saying goodbye to me, some of them. In the face, you know that. And I want to show them that it's not going to be the end. So before they put me on a chopper, I had told them, barely I could speak, but I told them, do a selfie before. I want us to have a selfie of this. And like they said, Itay, you crazy? No, we don't have time for this.
Young people, they need to make a selfie.
And
selfies.
And then this is the evacuation team. It's not my team. Yeah. Well,
send it to me and we'll include it in it.
Well, you need to like erase their faces.
We'll erase their faces.
Not mine. This is what I had.
Yeah, we won't be able to put that on video.
That's crazy. Now you see why they said goodbye to me.
Yeah, that's a pretty nasty wound.
Yeah. And I lost a lot of blood from there.
Well, it's a very dangerous neck area because there's artery there that you bleed out very quickly, and it's very difficult to stop the bleeding. Yeah. So you lived.
And I got to the hospital, and right before they put me under anesthesia, like I heard all of the doctors just shouting, "This we're gonna do. No, we can do this, and this we're gonna do," and all of them were very not know what to do with my situation because I was in really bad shape. They gave me oxygen because I could barely breathe by my own, and I was shaking because I didn't have any blood in myself. Thankfully, they already attached me to blood. It's a chopper. And I heard one doctor just shouting at everyone, "Shut up! Just shut up, all of you." And then he very calmly, very slowly said, "It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna wash his wound, and then we're gonna close," and they said just and names of vessels that I don't know how to express. Right. And they said, "We're gonna take some flesh and out of his leg and put it back in a different spot. It's gonna be fine." And I hear all of that and say, "Oh my God, I'm gonna survive." And then I just whisper that I want to talk with my mom. And there was one amazing girl that didn't care about any one of those doctors. She was there for me. All of them were there for me, but she was only listening to me. And she called my mom, and they already want to put me in the surgery, but I don't care. I want to talk to my mom, like a good Jewish boy. And like she answered the phone, and it was, "Hi, this is I don't want to say her name. I have here your son. Is in the hospital. Do you want to talk with him?" She said, "Of course." And then she gave me the phone. My mom said, "Itay, what's happening? How are you? What is happening?" And I was like, "Hey, Ma, I'm fine. I just want to tell you that I love you. I have a shrapnel in my hand. They're gonna take it out, but really don't worry. It's a very simple surgery.
Just scratch.
Yeah, just a scratch. I just want to let you know." And she said, "Oh, thank you. Thank you for telling me I love you." And I said, "I love you, Mom. Thank you. Bye."
I think mothers know exactly what's going on.
She didn't.
They have it. She did.
She didn't.
Because
she heard my voice.
My mother knew exactly. She would not. She would call me the next day and she would say, "What happened to you?" And I'm like, "How did you know something happened?" But Jewish mothers,
she learned out like less than an hour.
Was she upset with you once she learned that?
She was the only one that wasn't freaking out, even after the doctor called her and everything, that I'm in critical shape and they don't know if I'll get out of the surgery. But she was the only one from my family that were positive because she heard my voice.
So I guess you take after your mother. Well, I never had an out-of-body experience like you did, but listening to you, I sense that your life is going to be beautiful, that you will build a nice big house or a good house, nice house in your kibbutz, and you're going to have a beautiful, beautiful life just like you saw in your experience. It is amazing what you're saying. It is just amazing to what happened and the attitude you have and the smile you have and the love that you and the warmth that you express for a big, strong guy like you who went through such a horrible experience. And I think that you reflect not just what happened to you, but what happened to our nation, what happened to our people that gone through such suffering, through such fights and the criticism and belittling that we go through, we continue to love life, continue to love our families, we continue to fight hard for the values that the rest of the world should share with us. And it will probably continue this way. So now let me ask you some other questions to make it a little bit lighter, because I actually got a headache listening.
I have to say something as well.
Sure.
I learned out in life that we don't control much. We don't. Like my teammates, all of us, well trained, we know exactly what we do, but in that moment, we didn't control. We didn't have any control, and my teammates that got shot, that were the best ones, they were better than me, but randomly they were outside, they got shot first.
Unfortunately, grenades do not know how much training you have.
We can't, no, I'm the only one who got grenade. All of them got shot from.
But I'm saying like grenades or missiles, when the missile hit, it doesn't know that you had years of special operations training.
So in life, we don't control
almost
anything. But we do control how we react. And it's true for each and every one of us in life. And if you react with positive and good attitude, that was probably what will happen. And more than that, like in that battle, I lost 3 of my best teammates. When I woke up from the hospital, I understood that. They came to say it to me, and I was devastated. Their name is Itay Moreno, Ido Kaslasi, and Daniel Castiel. The best guys. Really. And they're not the only one. There's so much people that we lost during the way, each and every one of us, the Jewish people. But when you lose so much and you look at what you have and you see that, we lost and we still lose every day good people. But then we see how much more we have to fight for. And we see how amazing our life is thanks to them. And thanks to those people who sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice for us to live, not to die, not to be sad, to appreciate, but to live the best life that we can, because now they're looking at us and saying, don't make it to be for waste. Have the best life you can have.
Absolutely.
Make it full of love. Make it about helping each other. And this is what I'm trying to do here. I'm here on behalf of Beit Halichem. I'm going throughout synagogues, speaking in the name of more than 60,000 injured soldiers. And like I got my life back, which is the biggest present that a man can get, they are getting and need to get their life back. And it's all about helping those people to go back on the horse of life, because once you fall from the horse, it really hurts. You lose your hand, you lose your sight, you lose some of your PTSD. You have sometimes PTSD. I think each and every one of us has PTSD that we need to take care of as soldiers. But this kind of organization come and help you and say to you, okay, Itay, get back on that horse. We're gonna help you, and we're gonna help you stay on that horse. And if you fall, that's fine, because it's not gonna be painful to fall this time, and you're gonna get back on it as soon as you can.
As we say, it's not how you fall, it's how you get back up.
Exactly.
And I don't know how much we can control, how much of it from the above that controls us, but you definitely control death. In your case, you were able to control because of your maybe stamina, of your discipline, of your great outlook on life. You were able to control death, and you chose life. And I think it's a great lesson for all of us. Let's mention Beit Halichem. It's probably difficult for Americans to say Beit Halichem, but it is easiest to find on, and there's going to be a site that with this video. You can find it under FIDV veterans. It is. I had a video about it about when the war in Gaza just started. I visited their centers. It's unbelievable, to be honest. I thought it was a government-sponsored center, but they're not. They're actually all volunteers. It's all on donations, and please donate. We wanted the Ukrainians to take the same type of approach to taking care of the veterans, not to depend on the government. Governments are great, but you can't depend on them. You depend on synagogues, on churches. You depend on organizations that are non-for-profit, where people with their heart, not for pay, but from their heart, try to help us to get back to life, to live a wholesome life. And Beit Halichem has a great story. I'm not going to go into it here because there are plenty of sites and there's plenty of great videos about it. So that is a great story. I mean, this is something that hopefully my son will make a movie one day out of it. But what's your plan for the future? Are you going to get back into the army, into the reserves?
I'm trying.
To be a sniper again?
Right now, it's like in the army, it works with profiles.
Right.
And I had the highest one, 97. Now I think I have 21, which is, it's not really worth anything.
Well, it's worth 21.
And more than that, I tried to go to the army, and they don't let me because right now I still have a lot of shrapnels in my neck. I don't know if you can see. But I had like a wound open from
Jewish
here.
surgeons did a good job. You can hardly see it. Yeah. But we won't show you the picture, but you'll have to trust me. It's a nasty wound. It's a nasty. Neck wounds are just always nasty. Usually people end up at best paralyzed.
So I do have 2 fingers that I don't feel very much as well, and I don't feel half of my face as well.
Okay, it's still numb.
It's
but
nerves.
You have to shave very
carefully. Yeah, and I can't lift my elbow as well like this one.
But you're left-handed.
I'm left-handed, so this is my luck.
Still, there's a good side to it.
But you know, I lost it, but I have so much more to live for and to be happy, and it's nothing compared to what I do have. And I want to say something about being paralyzed, being crippled, all this kind of stuff. Being disabled, yes, a lot of it is who we are, how we function, but it's mostly here. And you can see amazing people who is in a wheelchair that are not disabled at all. I'm not talking about the physical, I'm talking about the mental. Because here we control in everything. And if you have good attitude to whatever have happened to you in life, you can succeed so much more and still have more to contribute to our country. It doesn't matter in what situation or what what situation you are in.
Right. Well, I can tell you, Ty, who's crippled. The crippled people in Miami, we have a lot of crippled people because they drive up to the gym, they park in a handicap parking spot, they put the handicap thing that they got lied to their doctor to get it, they get out of the car, they take a gym bag and jog to the gym from the handicapped parking because they can't park a little further. It's too hard for them to walk over there. Those people are crippled. We're not crippled. And I've known plenty of American Marines and servicemen who would refuse to park in those parks because they don't feel they're crippled. And your life, if I can give you a suggestion or I can give you an advice as somebody who is older, probably old enough to be your father, you have to live 3 lives now for your 3 brothers who gave up their life in this unfair fight. Israel is not only fighting for themselves, for survival of Israel. Everybody says Israel has the right to survive. Israel has the right to defend themselves. Israel is not defending themselves. Israel is defending the entire civilized world. This is not the war about land or a war about religion. This wars that Israel's been fighting for us for the last 80 years is to protect us, the civilized world, from the darkness, from uncivilized, from rapes, from selling women to slavery and killing children and so forth and so forth. That's what Israel is doing. And until the rest of the world stop trying to do, expecting Israel to do the dirty work and criticize them for it, until we all get together and say, no, we all have to deal with it. It's all of our problem. It's not just Israel's problem. Just like with Ukraine, it's not just Ukraine problem. They're actually fighting the same evil that's going. Now, you know that your forces just killed this pure evil, the Sinwar guy, Yehuya which in Russian, well, in Russian we say Yehuya. It's not a very nice way to say it.
Okay.
But Yehuya.
Huy.
Yeah, we'll have to. Oh yeah, you know Russian. I see that. Yeah, you're also a linguist.
My girlfriend.
I see you also a linguist. So your girlfriend speaks Russian, I take.
Yes.
It's a good. So what else could she teach a special ops guy? Typical in every army in the world. That pure evil is that. Do you feel like a little bit bad that you're not the one that got him? A little bit, like a little bit.
I feel I feel like I did got him. You know, yeah, because I feel whole with the Israeli army, and I feel whole with each and every one of them. And when it's painful to them, it's painful for me. And when they win, I win. And like when I won, they won. You know, it's the same. We are whole. We are together, and it doesn't matter what is our beliefs are. All of us serving in the same place to fight for the same things. To the whole civilized world, of course, and to Israel and to each other. And I feel blessed that I had the chance to go through what I did go through. And yeah, I killed him. I killed him like each and every one of us killed him because all of us want to do that.
Well, I can't stress it enough to say that Sinwar, Nasrallah, al-Baghdadi, Soleimani, these are expendables. These guys are going to kill them. And they're going to kill the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And they're going to pay the highest price ever, losing best friends, losing family, losing their own lives. These guys are expendable. The other ones will fill their spot. They just bought a little bit time now to maybe get the hostages free, maybe something else. But this will not end. This is not the last war. Again, until the rest of us will engage in it, because the Israelis right now, they're treating the symptoms of the disease. It's not the disease. It's not the cancer that they're treating. They're just treating the symptoms. It's going to grow back. The disease is elsewhere, because those are expendables. There's going to be another Nasrallah. There's going to be another Sinwar. The disease is who finances, who supports this. And we have to be very honest with ourselves. You see, that's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. We have to be very honest with ourselves. That's in the United Nations, right? That's who pays billions of dollars into those organizations, and actually suppressing the Arabs, the so-called Palestinian people. They're not happy with it. Many of my Arab friends were congratulating me, for some reason they're congratulating me, I'm not Israeli, for killing Sinwar, because they're so happy about it, or Nasrallah. It's the problem with us in the United States, because it is our government that released $6 billion, then another $10 billion for Iran, who supports that war and supports Russia in the war against Ukraine. It is us who lifted sanctions from Iran, and now they're making hundreds of billions of dollars on oil prices because they can export their oil. This is where the cancer is. It's with us here, particularly here in the United States, because we're the leaders of this world. Like he's the first sergeant that leads his team when he was on active duty. We're the leaders of this world. And if we're not going to lead it right, we should expect that to be here in Miami very, very soon. I promise you that. So, this is not a political question. This is purely military question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want it. But your government is having difficulty with my government in the United States. The relationship is not so good. Let's put it this way. Now, if your government would have given, I'm not going to say given to the pressure, although it is a pressure, but let's say a suggestion or a request that our government had for your government not to go into Rafah, not to send the Israeli forces into Rafah. Do you think, as a military man, you were able to get Sinwar? If you would have taken that suggestion or that request or that demand from my government to your government, would have been able to eliminate Sinwar? that pure
In
evil.
an army perspective,
Yes, in the army perspective.
pressure is good.
If you
When you
want.
boil the water, the hot dogs will flow up.
Yeah.
And as long as you have high military pressure and you're smashing them, the terrorists, of course, you're smashing them and showing them there's no way out, go out with your hands up, you'll be fine. And that's what's happening. You can see the videos and the pictures of tens and hundreds of terrorists just saying, we give up. And it's happening thanks to hard, ruthless military pressure. You can't win with a soft hand. And we need to win. And that means going to Rafah, and that means going into each house that we think there's a terrorist there. And showing them we're not scared of you. Because the mentality is so much different from what me and you been growing up on. They have different mentality. They think if you don't go somewhere, it's because you're weak, not because you're strong.
Yes.
And we're strong, and we need to show them each and every day that we are much, much stronger than they are, and we are not afraid of anything that they have.
Right, and that in that region, in that culture, it was definitely that way. And I remember in my days when Israelis tried to patch up or to cure brain cancer of the Sinwar or to help them, and somehow it was considered to be a weakness on the side of Israelis by the Arabic culture.
Yeah, and we try to do good.
Yeah, you try to do good, but they take it as a weakness.
Yeah.
They don't. So having a concert next door to them without security and saying that this way will show goodwill. It's not a goodwill.
It's weakness.
It's a stupidity. Stupidity to release terrorists, thinking that they're not going to fight you for thousands of them. But it is your country. It is for you to decide. Again, I want to stress one thing for my countrymen, and especially the ones that are Russian-speaking countrymen. To go around and say that Israel conducting a genocide is pure stupidity. That's not Israel causing genocide. The terrorists are causing genocide. They're hiding among the civilians. They're holding the hostages. You want to stop this war? Genocide is something that when you're being killed and there is nothing you can do about it, nothing. You can change your nationality, you can change your name, you can change your citizenship, you can change your religion, whatever you can do, change, but you're still going to get killed because you're genetically this way, or because your skin is that way, or because your skull is that size, or whatever. And this is what genocide is. Israelis will stop the operation right now and will stop the destruction of that area. All that Palestinians have to do is to release the hostages. Let the hostages go, and your genocide will end, which is not a genocide. It is in your hands. You can stop that, not the Israelis. Israelis cannot stop because you're going to cause genocide on them. You have their kids in those tunnels. You have their young children in those tunnels. So don't call it genocide. There is no genocide. And if it's a genocide, it is caused by the terrorists and by, I hate to say that, and I have plenty of Muslim friends that are good people, by the Muslim world. Speak out, say that it's wrong. And a lot of Arab countries now already saying it, like Saudi Arabia and Emirates and Kuwait and so forth. So, unfortunately not United States, and unfortunately not European Union. But that's politics, and we're soldiers, so we're not going to talk politics because I already talked politics. So it's Itay, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to a brave soul, a brave soldier like you, but you're going to be a soldier all of your life. You're going to be a fighter all of your life because that's the way you were born, and you're going to live a long life, and that's how you're going to die. Standing up, fighting. Even when you're dead, you try to stand up and at least prompt yourself to sit, because you will never die on your knees.
Never.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tanura, over and out.